everybody. Hey guys, doing there today. Welcome back to another episode of Halloween at the Manor. So this is going to be, I believe, the Carnevil update number 7. Well, it is Saturday, October 2nd, and it's an absolutely beautiful day. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning, and I decided to work on a project. Now this is the point in the season where I go overboard and do way more than I should. And I did it last year, and I'm starting to do it again this year. So I've been thinking of a project that's very similar to what we did last year for our mausoleum. And if you haven't seen that video, go watch it, because I think that was a really cool video, and I think the mausoleum turned out awesome. So I kept having in my head something called the Wacky Shack. And I don't know why, it just kept popping in my head, Wacky Shack. So I decided to, in the same way that I did my mausoleum, to build a structure that's going to be about 6 feet high, right now 8 feet wide and 2 feet deep, and it's going to butt up against the fence. And what I was thinking is like this Wacky Shack would be like a place where if the clowns are like insane or they go crazy, it would be a place where they kind of like, I guess, lock them up. I don't know. So you know, it's going to be like really colorful, and I have started building it. I started building some of it last night after work, so I'm going to show you that real quick and just give you some measurements. But that's kind of what I'm going to be working on, I think, in this update, because I really don't have too much more to go as far as with the Carnevil, the updates. So why don't we go ahead? I hope you guys enjoy this one, and let's get started. All right, guys. So this is one of the panels of the what I'm going to call the Wacky Shack. So this thing is 6 feet high, it's 4 feet wide, and what I did was every 16 inches, I put another piece of 2x2, and these 2x2 pieces are cut at 69 inches. And this is going to be a window here, and again, I made it kind of look like prison bars with PVC. My thought process is that I was going to put like maybe a clown head in here, like hands reaching out, so when the kids walk by, they'll see this. This is the second panel, and I kind of was going to put the PVC the opposite way, horizontal instead of vertical, but I might change my mind on that. So I'm thinking I'm going to have this one, the second one over here, and potentially a third one. And my thought was we may actually get some people to come over this year and help us out. You know, depending on schedules, you never know. But my thought process was if like the first two windows had like fake things in it, the third window might have somebody real in it, and I was going to leave the end wide open so that an actor, if we can get somebody or they want to come, can run out and scare the kids. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I did go to Lowe's today and get some plywood, some thin plywood, 5mm plywood to put over this. So I'm going to work on that next, and then we're going to kind of see what it looks like. All right, guys, we got one of the panels done here. I got the plywood on, and I'm going to start working on the next one here. Probably going to paint these bars here black, and then put some, probably like some nutmeg on there to make them look a little bit rusty, just like I did with the cage. But this is one. I'm going to work on the other one next. All right, guys. So this is what the what I'm going to call the Wacky Shack looks like set up. I still have to figure out how I want to get this all braced, but I was originally thinking about going 3 panels. I'm only going to go 2. This thing is 8 feet. It's 8 feet wide and 6 feet tall. This is definitely bigger than my mausoleum. Here, we're going to go around to the back here. So this is the side, and then this is the back of the what I'm going to call the Wacky Shack. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to paint this. I'm going to paint this all in off-white, and then I'm going to figure out if I want to stripe it with red or do other things with it. But this is what I got now. Like I said, I am going to have to figure out how to brace this. I may run some 1x2 the whole way down to the end there, and basically just put a screw in every single one of these things, and then maybe down here as well, just to give this some more added support. I wasn't planning on putting a roof on this. I was planning on making this wide open. I don't know if I'll make a roof, but right now I was planning not to. So this is kind of where I'm at right now, and I'm going to start to paint next. Alright guys, so this is what I ended up doing as far as painting it goes. I started off painting the entire thing with this off-white exterior paint that I had because it's what I had the most of. And then I finished it off with just, I had all the spray paint laying around, so then I just kind of finished it off with all the spray paint. I did the one side over here with polka dots, random polka dots, and then this one I just did random stripes. I didn't want it to look perfect. I kind of wanted to just look kind of like crappy, and somebody just did it kind of like the big top, kind of just like willy-nilly. I did rub some dry brush, some black paint on there to make it look dirty and dingy. So I think as far as painting goes, this is probably done. So one thing Vanessa and I did pick up today is actually at a Spirit Halloween. We got this guy right here. He's actually a... you're supposed to put him on the front door, and he's motion activated. However, I thought he might be a really cool prop for this particular Wacky Shack, as I'm going to call it. And he's actually motion censored. So as I step over all this stuff here,
can you smell the circus? The overpowering stench of screaming fear coming from all the kitties. Ah, it's all so glorious.
so they'll see that, and then how I rigged it up is I just kind of put this little L bracket in here to kind of put them on. I might actually spray paint this to be black so you can't really see it, but I thought this was a cool little thing that we can have in here. This guy, so if the kids walk by him, he's gonna go off. Alright guys, so I did get what I'm going to call the Wacky Shack out here tonight. I just could not, I needed to bring it out here to be able to visualize what I needed to do. It's not my best work, to be honest with you, but what we ended up doing was these brackets here are from my mausoleum. So what we did was we put them over the fence and then bolt them in here, and it should do a pretty good job. It doesn't look like it's going to go anywhere, but so we can have somebody come in here, and then when the kids come through, they can either, you know, just jump out and go after the kids and chase them in the tent, or we have like the clown there. We can have something else in here too. So that's kind of where I'm at tonight. I'm not sure what I want to do as far as, like, I have some signs down the basement that I have from like 2019 that I might reuse on this thing. And Vanessa came up with a good idea, maybe putting, like I said, I keep coming up with this Wacky Shack, maybe putting Wacky Shack somewhere down here, so I at least get that name I keep coming up with. And that's kind of where I'm at tonight, and I'll get back to you guys when I start working on this tomorrow. Alright guys, a quick little update here. The clown here in the middle I actually made back in 2019 for our Carnevil party. So I decided to see if I could utilize this for on top of what I'm calling the Wacky Shack. So I found this in the basement, and what I did was I dirtied it up with black paint to make it look like it was older, and then I made these two signs, Wacky Shack, and basically just used the same color scheme that was in the clown into this. Now I got to figure out a way to bolt this together or get this together. I think I'm going to use these 2x2s behind me here and kind of just put this thing together. This sign is actually going to be pretty close to 8 feet long, so it'll go on top of the entire Wacky Shack that I had put out there on the that's connected to the fence. So this should go right on top of it. I think it's going to look okay, but I'm not sure yet. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to work on trying to get this all together and secured. Alright guys, so I got the sign up, and honestly it doesn't look too bad. I think it looks pretty, I'm actually pretty happy with it, the Wacky Shack. We got some, you saw this guy already. This is another guy that we had. I really like him a lot. He's really cool. He's sound. So we're going to have him hanging there, which is really cool. Then I have this guy here. This is just a mask that I got with a Pennywise costume. We're thinking about putting him like here, like he's looking out the bars. But yeah, I think the sign came out pretty cool. Like I said, I always go above more than I should. I'm actually thinking about maybe running some of those. Thinking about maybe running some bulb lights. I have like 3 strands left. Maybe this is a good place to put the bulb lights. Run those up and over and down. This might give it a nice little pop at night. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. Alright guys, so I did end up running some of the bulb lights over this thing, and I'm going to be curious to see what this looks like at nighttime. I think this area back here needed some light, and I think this is probably going to be just enough to give this area all back here light. It does get somewhat lit up with the LEDs, but I didn't want this area to be like really lit. I kind of wanted it to be dim, and I think that these bulb lights are going to do the trick. So what I'll do is I'll come back out here tonight and give you guys a shot of this in the when it's dark out. All right, guys. One thing I wanted to shoot and I forgot to show you was how I ended up bracing the Wacky Shack sign here. I ended up putting a 2x2s to connect all 3 of the signs together. So I used a 2x2 up here and a 2x2 here, and then I drilled the 2x2 into the top of the Wacky Shack frame. And then what I did was I showed you these are my braces from the mausoleum. I ended up putting a additional braces, 2x2 braces, attaching the sign to this. So this thing is really sturdy right now. I'm definitely not going to go anywhere. So I just wanted to show you that. I don't know, in case anybody wanted to try something like this for themselves, just give you kind of an idea of some things that you can do to brace your signs and your little facades and stuff. Alright guys, this is what the Wacky Shack looks like at nighttime with the bulb lights, and actually I think it looks pretty cool. I think I'm going to leave these bulb lights up. Get a closer look here at the sign. I think it looks pretty cool. I think it looks very, carnival, circus. May have to stick a light in here to light the face up. I like that part now is dimly lit. Might have to do the same thing over here to kind of dimly lit this window here, but I like it. Think it looks pretty good. Like I said, we're not sure we're going to have somebody in there on Halloween night, or we're just going to put something here and leave it like that, and just basically be like, when the kids come down, through this walkway here to the back here, past the shack, and then into the tent, if they're going to think like, oh, is there something in there? And but anyway, like I said, I think this looks pretty good, and I'm actually happy that I did it. I was kind of having second thoughts about doing it, but it looks pretty good.